Hello all of my Freemasons over there on the other side of the screen, and everybody who wants to become a Freemason, and everybody who is any way interested in Freemasonry. Today I'm going to ask you a question. If you are a Freemason and you are a Finnish Freemason, I want to become a Freemason, but I know that I probably won't become a Freemason. But I'm going to still ask you, should I become a Freemason, and how did you become a Freemason? That's the question. I was reading this book about Freemasonry in the library, and it talked about Freemasonic lodges. And there was a picture of a lodge in Ireland, actually. And it kind of like reminded me of a throne room. And I was reading the ranks about the Freemasonry, those kind of jobs, not really jobs, but the positions of the Freemasons in the lodge, the master and the guard. And you know, they have two guards actually in Freemasonic lodges, at least in the Grand Lodges. That's what the book said, but everything with a grain of salt. If you are a Freemason, you can tell if that's right. Do you have the guards? And if you want to get inside of the lodge, you have to go through the guard, you know. And for example, if I went to a Freemasonic lodge, I know that in Finland and even in my town there's a Freemasonic lodge, but in the capital city of Helsinki there's the Grand Lodge. And if I would go there, would they just say to me that you're not a Freemason? Can you prove that you are a Freemason? And how do you prove that you are a Freemason? You actually get a kind of a degree, you know, a written document of Freemasons, of being a Freemason. But how do these people identify that, yeah, they are Freemasons? And how do they get in? Well, think about this. You go to this guard and you ask the guard, can I get in? And the guard asks, are you a Freemason? Only Freemasons get in. And you say that, no, I'm not a Freemason. And the guard says that then you can't get in. And then you ask the question, how can I become a Freemason? And he says that, well, everybody who is inside is a Freemason. And then you ask, how did they become Freemasons? How did they get in? And he says, well, because they are Freemasons. Think about it. The Freemasons have connections with the royalty families. And royal families, you can't become a royalty. You have to be born as a royalty. So do you have to be born as a Freemason? Well, of course not. Of course not. Well, then you might ask, well, if I knew some Freemasons, and they kind of recommended me for this, brotherhood, would I get in that way? And he might say that, well, they probably wouldn't reveal that they are Freemasons, and if they did, I wouldn't believe that they would kind of recommend you. So then I said, so it's impossible for me to become a Freemason then. I will never know, and I will never experience, and I will never get to develop myself as you say that you do in this organization. And he says, probably not. And I go, man, that's very weird, kind of a lodge. And what do I do in that situation? Well, I place a camera in front of the Freemasonic lodge to see who the members are in a hidden spot. I film them when they go inside the lodge in the meetings. I found out the timelines, and I found out who these people are, who are the members. And I use my detective skills, and I kind of get to know them through undercover means. Kind of like the police operates. And then I go to a Freemason and I say that I happen to know that you are a Freemason. How did you become a Freemason? And the man says, how do you know that I'm a Freemason? And I said, I just hear, I have many connections. I'm a detective, a truth detective. I have many skills. Do you have any skills? And then the Freemason talks about his skills. And then I asked that, do Freemasons kind of like have a lot of skills in the lodges? And he says, yeah, a lot, you know. We have the best guys, you know, in the whole world. We are the best people and the worst. We're kind of like birds. And I say that it would be a really nice thing to become a Freemason. Because of that, I would want to meet those people that have the skills. And I really think that your organization has deep knowledge and wisdom that I would want to use to develop myself. And I would want to become a Freemason. So then the guy says that, and I asked like, how did you become a Freemason then? And he says that, well, in my family, you know, there were ties to Freemasons and I actually got in very young. This happens in Freemasons, believe it or not. And I said that, well, that's very interesting, but I don't have any ties like that. You know, I couldn't get in that way. And he says that, well, you know, I'm gonna remember you. Maybe there's a spot for you. Or not. And then it never leads to anywhere. So how did you actually become a Freemason? Did you have to get some outside, you know, because Freemasons don't recruit. They don't seek you to join. You have to join on your own. You have to try to get them to accept you on your own initiative, you know? So how do you actually do that? Well, that's a hard question. Thanks for watching.